Hey, what's going on, guys? Here's another episode of Drunk College Experience. I'm Carly. I'm drinking Einstock tonight, and I will also be presenting.
Alex, I have some red wine from South Carolina.
Kelsey, I had a little bit of vodka earlier, but now it's that sweet $5 wine.
Yeah, that's my girl. I'm Leah. I got weed, so I'm pretty good.
I'm Steve. I got water and Bud Light.
I'm Brandon, and I am largely finished a bottle of Moscato, and I'm mega lightweight.
So today I will be presenting all the people Hera tried to murder. This is a continuation of all the women Zeus fucked over.
Is the snake bitch in this? Or did Hera not really try to murder her?
Not really.
Medusa was badass. Let me just say that.
It was more just tragic, her backstory and everything. So we got Heracles first. Does anyone know who Heracles is?
Know the name.
Isn't that the Roman name for Hercules?
Actually, Hercules is the Roman name. It's the Latinized version. Heracles is the Greek version.
Well,
so everyone knows him by Hercules because that's what it's been known as in most movies and TV shows. I mean, even Disney had their own version. Hercules, what was it, back in 1998 or 1997 or something? But as we all know, the Romans stole everything. But Hercules, like, his relationship with his stepmom wasn't always that great. It was really never that great during his whole entire life. He has really the most fucked up story out of all of them because he was pretty much the bastard child of Zeus and Alcmene. Because Zeus decided to disguise himself as Alcmene's husband in order to make love to her. Pretty much Hera's distaste for Heracles is because of his father's adulterous nature that spawned him. He had a twin brother named Iphicles. Just an FYI, so everyone knows, I have a terrible time pronouncing these names. I try my best. Like, I even tried today to for a good 30 minutes beforehand, try to figure out how to pronounce these. They're really hard.
Which name is this? I'm a Percy Jackson kid and I took Latin.
Okay, well, I tried taking Latin in high school, but then my teacher got fired halfway through the year, so that was...
And then you had to take Mandarin.
Oh.
Yeah, I was forced to take Mandarin.
Wait, I took Latin and Mandarin. Have we never discussed this?
I don't know. It's spelled Iphicles. Iphicles, I believe. But his twin was not Zeus's son. So this is like a really soap opera moment where a woman slept with two different men and had two different sons by them. But Alcmene's husband...
Like the octopus.
Yeah, so his brother was actually Alcmene's husband's, which was Amphitryon. That's a fucking mouthful. So Hera ended up slowing the birth of the twins by forcing the goddess of childbirth. She has a few different names, but it's mainly known as Alethea. So she pretty much forced the goddess to sit cross-legged, which trapped them inside their mother's womb. When the goddess would sit that way, it would prevent the actual mother from actually giving birth. So she was laboring for a while.
That sounds unpleasant.
Yeah, so that same night, a child named Eurystheus was said to be born to Nisippe and another guy or another person, making him the grandson of Perseus. Hera forced Eurystheus to be born prematurely and before Heracles because she had previously made Zeus swear an oath that his child with Alcmene would be a member of the house of Perseus, and the first child born would be the next high king. So this pretty much prevented Heracles from getting that title at all. Eurystheus, born before him, Heracles lost that title, but she continued to delay his birth until she was fooled by Alcmene's servant, Galanthius. Galanthius, by the way, fun fact, Wonder Woman, she actually had a cat named Galanthius. Who was actually an Amazon disguised as a cat. And honestly, I would name my cat Galanthius after that.
That's gonna be an idea I'm keeping for the future.
My brain just went to the cat from Captain Marvel.
So Galanthus lied to Ilithyia, saying Alcmene already gave birth. So this like obviously surprised the goddess, and like it surprised her enough where she actually uncrossed her legs. And in this split moment, this allowed the mother to actually give birth to both of the twins.
That's a mega pelvic energy right there. Like, gee.
I know. I mean, but she was gone at least for a few hours, if not a few days. Who knows? It could have been longer.
Yeah, but still, I don't think like two like 7-pound kids probably can just be out like that. But I'm impressed. I'm proud of her.
Alcmene, she feared revenge from Hera, even though Hera is the one who brought this shit on. But Alcmene allowed Athena to take Heracles to Hera, and she did not recognize him and started to like she did not recognize the kid at all as the one who that was just birthed, and she literally just started to breastfeed him. And
As one may do.
Yeah, and it ended up giving him supernatural abilities, which was just like extreme strength, all that other stuff that he's known for. And this caused Hera apparently great pain during this, which I'm just like, you know what, awesome. You did this to the child, now he's biting you back with force. You know, fuck you. And she pushed the child away, resulting in her milk to be sprayed throughout the universe, creating the Milky Way.
Wait. Whose milk was what now?
So Heracles was a baby, right? He was like on her teat, and he was biting way too hard because I mean, obviously, like if she was trying to kill me, I would definitely bite too hard on her. But he was still like getting that sweet mother's milk from her. And as she pushed him away from that pain, her milk sprayed into like the cosmos and created the Milky Way.
Don't you hate it when you accidentally shoot your milk across the galaxy?
Is this why it's named the Milky Way?
Dude, that's like the
Yeah.
worst weekend.
Why?
That's why it's named the Milky Way. It's not after the bar. The bar is named after the actual galaxy itself.
There's a Milky Way bar.
Imagine naming
Never heard of
a
Milky
galaxy
Way?
after a candy bar. Am I right?
I thought you meant the alcohol bar, like an alcohol bar.
No, but we should do that though.
Isn't there one in not Guardians of the Galaxy? The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy,
Possibly?
like an intergalactic bar. I don't know what I'm talking about. This bottle of wine.
So back to what ended up happening with Heracles. It gets even worse now. So Athena brought him back to his parents where he was like raised, he was raised by his like, extra adopted parent, which I definitely think where like a lot of these stories, it's like obviously the women getting pregnant by like a god or a higher being. I could easily see where like people got the idea of like Jesus and stuff from this. The story of Mary and the story of who was the carpenter guy she was married to? Joseph?
Joseph.
Yeah.
No, Jesus was the carpenter, wasn't he?
Who?
Wasn't Jesus the carpenter?
Yeah, but I think Joseph was also a carpenter too.
I don't know, but then they got the idea
He's a
that
carpenter and not his name.
what?
Who remembers that he's a carpenter and not his name? I've always heard it as Mary and Joseph and Jesus. I've never heard of the carpenter thing.
Jesus was famously a carpenter.
Thank you.
I did not know that.
There's that like holy staircase that's like it's supposed to be like there's no
There's
way
a
by
holy staircase.
Yeah, there's some staircase that's
I'm
supposed
a
to
bad
be
Christian.
I don't know. There's some holy staircase that's supposed to be like there's no way it can stand by physics. So it was
Well,
Jesus.
usually when you see Jesus depicted in even medieval Renaissance Baroque paintings, there's typically nails and a hammer or even just like woodworking tools, besides the fact that he was nailed to the crucifix and he had like like a huge like blow on his side. But like it's also has like symbolism to his actual carpentry days.
Yeah, Jesus
He
was
was the
definitely
one school I didn't care about and was just cool with passing.
Yeah, I mean, I went to CCD and I really didn't gain any knowledge from that. The only thing I actually learned was from college, which was in art history.
Well, I learned things from my mom.
Yes.
My mom believes in the holy staircase or whatever the fuck. I wish I could remember what and where the holy staircase is, but Jesus was
Okay.
definitely a carpenter.
All I learned was do nice things and you will go to heaven.
Wow, that's funny. Ours was like You're a sinner. You were born a sinner. God fucking hates you.
I don't want to get too much into religion talk, but like, as a Quaker, what I learned was that like you were nice to people, you went to heaven. That's like all I learned. Like you would have believed in Jesus. That was my thing. And also,
were you a Protestant?
Quaker.
Quaker, yeah. So you weren't Catholic.
No.
I went to
Very good.
Sunday school sometimes when I was little, but other than that, I didn't have
Charlie,
any
get outta
religious
here.
upbringing. So
Yeah, I was the kid who didn't pay attention in Catholic school, and I just know some of the basics.
I was the kid who argued all of it. Catholicism is a lot more like you're born a sinner and you have to spend your entire life trying to be slightly less of a sinner, and you will burn in the fires of hell.
Yeah.
I just remember one of my teachers walked out because he couldn't stand our class anymore, joking around, and we just never saw him again.
I wish I could have done that to someone.
Honestly, I feel like Quaker is like a cracker. I don't know why.
It's because of Quaker Oats.
Kind of, yeah. But it's like
Yeah.
Quaker sounds like cracker. And it's like crackers come in like different forms and like different flavors and sizes, you know?
Well, I am white in a
Sometimes,
form
like-
of I am white in a form of crackers, so
Yeah, like, you know,
Was it
like even
class?
with the flips, you know, you got like pretzel on one side and cracker on the other. You know, you have multiple different sides to it.
What?
Damn it, Charlie. I'm gonna kill this fucking cat. He keeps getting into my shit.
hey, he is very handsome. I enjoy seeing him walk by your screen, so I do not need that negativity in my life.
Thank you, but he's an asshole. I live with him.
My cat was an asshole too. He woke me up at 7 o'clock every morning because he wanted me to feed him.
Yeah, but you know what? He takes dumps on my bed when he doesn't get what he wants. So he
Okay,
can go.
my
F
cat did
himself.
not do that.
Maybe we should start this back up again. So, like Athena obviously brought him back or whatever, to his parents, you know, or like his one a birth mother and his adopted father, and back to his one twin. And when he was only a few months old, Hera, of course, sent 2 snakes to the twins. His twin Iphicles was terrified, but Heracles strangled both of them with each hand. Heracles, what?
Hercules had a twin?
I said this before, yes.
I did not.
I'm just processing it right now. Like it's hitting me like that.
Like,
we're
so
saying-
pretty much it's like pretty much like think of it as a soap opera. Like Zeus impregnated the mother first by transforming into her husband. Like he disguised himself as her husband, who was off like figuring stuff out for something else, either war or whatever. And then later on, her husband ended up coming home that same night, and then he impregnated her with another kid.
But why do we only talk about Hercules? Why doesn't anyone care?
Because Hercules is the son of Zeus, whereas Iphicles is actually the son of the mortal. Oh my God, there's so many names on this sheet.
How are they twins then? If they're
not
Because
different things.
yeah, they're half brothers, but they were both in that time. It was considered like twins because they were both conceived on the same night and they were both born the same day. Even though they have 2 different fathers, I think it is technically possible. Like in biology, it's very, very rare.
I don't think it is possible because of the way the egg like menstruation cycle.
Yeah, but you could have 2 different eggs though.
At the same time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that sometimes you have like 2. Sometimes you'll have like 2 eggs go like be in part of that process.
But impregnated by 2 different people?
I think it's a very strange possibility. It's like almost impossible, but I feel like there is a possibility of it happening.
You can have twins like naturally, like not, but just not that common. So I guess if you had sex with 2 men and it was 2 separate eggs rather than an egg pudding, theoretically they could be fertilized by 2 different.
Because you could have fraternal twins and they're technically 2 different eggs.
Wait, I just looked this up. It's called superfecundation. It's the fertilization of 2 or more eggs during the same ovulation cycle by sperm from separate people, which can lead to twins from 2 different biological fathers.
I like how it starts with super fake.
Superfecund, which is has to do with being fertile.
So Heracles later on married King Creon's daughter Megara and started a family. And when this happened, Hera decided, of course, you know, as Hera does, to make Heracles mad, like completely out of it, and murder and she pretty much forced him to murder his entire family. After being cured from his madness, he went to see the oracle at Delphi. Unbeknown to him, Hera was secretly guiding the oracle to further punish Heracles instead of saving him from his sins. So she pretty much forced the oracle to feed him lies and like force him on something like to do something else than he really should have been. So the oracle led him to serve King Eurystheus for 10 years, where he performed his 12 labors, and that's what he's most famous for, is the 12 labors of Heracles or Hercules. So a few of them are slay the Nemean lion, the 9-headed Lernaean Hydra, capture the golden hind of Artemis, and obviously you have where it's connected with the Amazons. I think she was the 9th labor. It's the girdle of Hippolyta. She's one of the most famous Amazonian queens of all time. Hephaestus soon became Heracles' best friend. This is another guy that came in later on. But once again, Hera drove him mad, and he threw his friend over the city wall to his death. Yeah. So Heracles had a tough life. So we're on to Leto now. Does anyone know anything about Leto?
I actually don't, for once.
Anyone else?
Failed me.
Anyone else here? Brandon?
Negatory. I did take Latin in my freshman year of high school, but I don't think I recall learning about this.
So she was the goddess of motherhood, and she was the daughter of the Titans Phoebe and Coeus. It's spelled Coeus, and she was actually the mother of Artemis and Apollo, as seen in this one right here. She's also known as Latona, as seen on the bottom, and it says Latona and her children, Apollo and Diana is the Roman equivalent to Artemis.
Was Apollo called Apollo in both of them?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. I don't know why, but yeah, for some reason it was, or at least I believe it was. Hera found out Leto was pregnant with Zeus's children, so she barred her from giving birth on any solid earth or anywhere where the sun reached. So that seems like an impossible task, right? But no, like Poseidon decided to help her out, and he rose an entire island up off of like actual like soil where it was connected to the earth, so it would be higher. And Leto then clung like pretty much to an olive tree and gave birth. And the island, now known as Delos, was originally referred to as Ortygia. It's spelled Ortygia.
Like like the one from Pirates of the Caribbean, Tortuga.
I've never seen that, but you could say that.
Isn't that the Pirates of the Caribbean one, Tortuga or something?
I've never seen it.
Tortugas was an actual island in like the Caribbean.
Well, it's Pirates of the Caribbean, Brandon.
I didn't need that negativity in my life, Kelsey. I'm just simply stating that I find it unlikely that an island from the Caribbean would be mentioned in a mythos that is based around. And a mythos that is.
All right. Hold up. I am barring you two. Kelsey. I am barring you two from speaking to each other for the end until the end of this presentation. All right, is that okay?
Okay, so Tortuga is the island from Pirates of the Caribbean.
So this island ended up becoming sacred to Apollo. So assaulted by Chthonic, which is a chthonic monster, which is a subterranean monster technically. One of these monsters was a giant named Tityos. Great name, I know.
Tityos.
Tityos. Tityos. Literally Tityos. And it's near Delphi, he attempted to rape Leto, but was killed by either Apollo, Artemis, or both. And this was on Hera's orders, no less. So Hera again tried to kill another another person. While Leto was pregnant, Hera sent Python after her to prevent her from giving birth. Python was said to be a giant serpent or dragon that dwelled beneath Delphi.
Is that where the name Python comes from for like the big snakes?
I'm pretty sure. So we're on to Callisto. This is I'm pretty sure one of the gay ones. This is for you, Kelsey. So Callisto was a nymph who was one of the followers of Artemis and vowed to remain celibate, as all of the followers of Artemis did. Zeus ended up disguising himself as Artemis or an other but it's either depicted either came as Artemis or Apollo. But once Callisto was alone from the other huntresses, like that's when he decided to come to her. He successfully seduced Callisto in this form and she wound up pregnant. So that's where kind of like the gay vibes come from. So she was most likely seduced by what she thought was Artemis. And
wait, so she thought wait, he pretended to be Artemis? Like
Apollo, but the most like prominent theory or the most like what people think really happened, or like you know what I mean, like the most common text of it is that like he actually disguised himself as one of his children and it was Artemis.
But like instead of trying to pretend to be an animal or something, like in some of the myths, like he pretended to be a lesbian.
Pretty much.
Wow, that's so toxic of him.
Yeah. So months after Artemis found out she was pregnant, when they were all bathing together, so she pretty much like saw the bump and was like, so you're not celibate like the rest of us, and I'm pretty much going to banish you from my group from now on. And that's exactly what she did. And Callisto later gave birth to a son named Arcus. After the birth of her son, Hera ended up transforming Callisto into a bear. 16 years later, she ran into her grown son, Arcus, who was hunting. And as he was about to kill his mother, Zeus sent both of them into the stars. And this is where like the constellations Ursa Major and Ursa Minor come from.
The bears?
Yeah.
What? They're the bears?
Yep.
I went to a constellation thing on a beach once in Acadia, and this guy made up his own constellation and he was really excited about it. And while he was talking about it, there were a couple comments across the sky and everyone was like, oh my god, and he was like, you guys like my constellation that much? But we were all like, oh my god, at the comments and not his constellation story. It was kind of funny.
Oh my god.
That's my story. That her titties are out.
Yeah, Alex, your name is over the titties.
She's drawing the titties in.
Ooh, yeah, get like that extra layer in. Do you guys know who Lamia is?
I actually do not.
Okay, so Lamia was of course, like all of these women that are on this list, was beloved by Zeus, or loved, or lusted after, or however you want to say, pretty much raped by Zeus.
Zeus not like enjoy?
She was once a beautiful queen of Libya until Hera found out about their affair. She cursed her to eat or / kill her children. It's kind of like, a weird thing with that. But
eating children in Greece.
Why didn't Hera just like call out her toxic husbands? Like,
oh, she did. The thing is that Zeus didn't give a shit and he just kept sleeping with people, and it pretty much drove from what people have said, it drove her mad.
Like mythology where Hera like castrates him or something like that.
I would honestly pay to see that.
Did you say Libya?
Yeah, Libya.
It's a country? Isn't that a country?
Yeah, it's a country.
This is where the country comes from?
I don't know, but I know she's a beautiful queen of Libya.
Is that in Africa? I don't know geography.
Yeah, I think Libya is in Africa.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't think it's in the Middle East. I'm pretty sure it's in Africa.
They're all white.
I think it's in like,
or is it in the
it's
Middle
on
East?
like the west coast of Africa. I'm pretty sure it's in like, yeah, it's in like kind of a central part. I think it's kind of tropical.
I think it's on like along the Mediterranean. I'm pretty sure. I'm not. Don't quote me on it though. I'm not 100%
I should know
sure.
this because my high school did Model UN and my group was Libya.
Yeah, you really should know this. I actually don't even remember what mine was. because my partner took over the entire presentation for me, even though I asked her, oh, let me help you. And she's like, no. And I'm like,
Technically, Libya's in Africa.
okay. Is it close to Egypt or no?
It's right by Egypt.
Okay.
It's to the left of Egypt.
Yeah, because Egypt goes into what is it? Like Saudi Arabia, and then also
Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Oman, UAE.
Like Palestine is up over in the northeast, I believe, with Israel encompassing it.
I just tried to stand up and it was hard.
So pretty much it was either like based on, but they believe that she actually like ate and killed her children. Another theory is that like Hera actually killed them herself, but like the prominent theory is that like she pretty much made her mad and like forced her to eat and kill her own children. So these children also included the ones she shared with Zeus, and if that wasn't enough, she gifted her with permanent insomnia on top of that.
That's the worst thing you can ever give someone.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so she was grief-stricken and she had insomnia. So she had to relive her grief constantly. Like she couldn't even get a day's rest from it because she had insomnia.
Oh.
And not being able to handle the torment, she wound up becoming a disfigured monster who hunted down children and either ate them or killed them.
Villain origin story.
I would kill to see this origin story. Absolutely.
Yeah, like theatrical in a movie. That would be crazy.
Yeah.
Who
Or
would
even
be
just
the main character? I guess her.
Oh, absolutely. Like fuck Zeus and Hera because they're assholes. They're the true villains.
Zeus is the true villain. Oh my! I haven't even taken a full I haven't even taken 4 years of Latin. I still like man.
So not being able to sleep, she would now be tortured by the loss of her children pretty much until she was able to sleep, which is never going to happen. And Zeus, taking pity on her, gave her a gift to remove her eyes for a temporary time, and this would pretty much ease her sleeplessness. I don't know how that works. Don't even ask me how that works.
You can't sleep. I'll just I'll just take out your eyes. Don't worry.
Yeah.
What? I'm glad it's not just me. I was like, that doesn't make sense.
So this kind of comes with also the power, or like this pretty much imbued her with the power of prophecy and shapeshifting. So I guess that's where they came with prophecy with the eyes and stuff, which makes sense to a certain degree. And that is Lamia. Now we're on to Echo.
Oh no, she looks startled.
You could say that.
No.
What was that?
She also got her titties out.
Yeah, I made sure to put a few titties for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, she is definitely spooked. So she was an Orid or a mountain nymph who resided on Mount Cytharion. And Hera always tried to keep a close eye on her husband when he would come down to earth because of his adulterous nature, which is extremely understood. Zeus would always try to consort with beautiful nymphs, and when Hera was about to catch him in the act, Echo would distract her with long conversations on Zeus's orders. So Zeus pretty much hired her, distract my wife while I go and make some babies by raping a bunch of women. And, Echo did it. So Hera then soon realized what Echo was doing, and she cursed Echo to repeat the most recently spoken words to another person talking to her. So if it's like I was saying to Alex, hey, what are you doing today? Alex would say, hey, what are you doing today? And I would be like, hey, what the fuck is wrong with you? She'd be like, hey, what the fuck is wrong with you? And this is where Echo and Narcissus come into, where Narcissus pretty much...
I knew that.
Yeah, so Narcissus pretty much falls in love with himself because Echo repeats everything that Narcissus is saying.
I did a play with that.
Alex, do you want to talk about it?
I that was not my scene. I was in an Arachne, but it was like a middle school play of a bunch of different Greek myths, and one of them was Echo and Narcissus, which I remembered pretty much as you said, of Echo repeating everything Narcissus said and Narcissus falling in love with her.
Yeah, so pretty much when he falls in love with her, he falls in love with himself.
Yeah.
It's really sad and I feel bad for her, but it is what it is. She should have married someone like my dad because he just doesn't speak at all. So this is simile. Let's just call it that. So she is the youngest daughter of Cadmus and Harmonia, and one myth is the mother of Dionysus, with Zeus being the father. But I believe this is the myth that was going to continue on with another character later that I talk about later on. But after sacrificing a bull at Zeus's altar, Zeus fell in love with her when he witnessed the act while disguising himself as an eagle. There you go, Kelsey.
Wait, so he got turned on by watching a girl sacrifice a bull?
Pretty much. He gets turned on by a lot of things. Pretty much a girl can be just existing and breathing, and he'll be turned on.
Isn't this where the Minotaur comes into play or something like that?
Not that I know of.
The Minotaur is the the lady who's married to Minos.
Yeah, King Minos. I don't think I put her in this because she doesn't really have anything to do with Hera. I mean, Hera's usually involved with everything. But with this, though, he ended up continuing to visit her, and they started an affair, which resulted in Semele becoming pregnant. This is the point where Hera learns of the deceitful act and plans her revenge. Hera came to her in a disguise and became friends with Semele. This is really a backstab move on her part, because she literally decided oh, I'm gonna become friends with you, and then I'm just gonna stab you in the back, which resulted in the end of her life. But once
in the back.
What?
A literal stab in the back?
Well, you'll find out. So when Semele confided in her about the true parentage of her child, Hera made her start to doubt in the man she was actually having an affair with. So she believed that this was Zeus, and it was Zeus, but Hera made her question it. So, wanting to really know, if this was actually Zeus, she went to Zeus and, confronted him about, and then, confronted it about him, and, she asked him to grant her a wish, and he complied by, pretty much swearing that he would give her whatever she would want. And he, pretty much swore an oath on the river Styx that he would. So he can't really break this promise. And she asked him to reveal his godlike form to her. Whole issue, though, is that no mortal being could actually look upon a godlike figure, their god actual image, because then they will burst into flames. But he complied, and she burst into flames from that. Whole issue, though, is that she was pregnant. So what ended up happening to this child, you ask? Zeus managed to rescue his unborn child and named him Dionysus.
What?
Next up is Io.
I feel like I've heard that name before. I don't remember what it is.
She's pretty famous. I really didn't know too much about her until I started doing the research. But she was a mortal princess who was one of the many lovers of Zeus. I don't even know how many lovers he had at this point. It's crazy.
Infinite.
Pretty much. I mean, Alex could be a lover for all we know. We don't know. The amount of guys that she constantly has. She was a priestess of the goddess Hera in Argos. Like all the others, Zeus lusted after her. She finally agreed after her father threw her out of the house after he consulted with the oracles. So he pretty much went to the oracle or oracles, and they concluded that, oh, let's throw her out of the house because, something's gonna happen. So in order to hide Io from Hera, because they ended up getting into an affair, or he ended up getting her pregnant, Zeus turned her into a cow, also known as a heifer or a heifer, but there are other sources that some say it was actually Hera who turned her into a cow. But
as a clicker, I say it's heifer.
Heifer?
Yeah.
But he just didn't succeed. So after Zeus refused to give her to his wife, because pretty much Hera went up to him and been like, hey, you're cheating on me, give me the cow so I can pretty much slaughter her. But he was like, no,
give me the cow.
Yeah, give me the cow. I want to kill her. I want to make up a good burger later for us, just have a nice barbecue for the rest of the 12 Olympians. And Zeus was like, no, I'm fucking this cow and I'm gonna have a good time with her. And so she ended up sending Argus, which was a giant with 100 eyes, to go spy on Io and make sure Zeus didn't get his filthy hands anywhere near her. But the thing is that Zeus knew about this, and he sent Hermes, another god, pretty much the messenger of the gods, to distract, and then he ended up slaying Argus. Zeus freed her from Argus, but too late for him, is that Hera ended up infecting her with using a fly, and it pretty much made her mad, and she wouldn't rest at all for the end of her days. So she constantly had to wander around the world.
What the fuck? Wait, he used the fucking fly?
Yeah.
The disrespect.
I know. She didn't have like the balls to go up to her.
Yeah, other bitches got a swan. Like,
so after obtaining a new home, or a new name, I should say, the name is Bosporus. She met Prometheus, who, do you guys know anything about Prometheus?
God, is he still getting his liver eaten?
Yeah, so he's still chained on the mountain.
Fire and the ravens and the eyes.
Didn't he have to do something with the box too?
No, wasn't that Pandora?
No, that was Pandora's box, but I feel like he had some part in that story too.
He probably did.
About him from that story.
All he has to do with this story is that he's still chained to that mountain, getting his liver taken out. Pretty much, she ended up meeting him randomly. He pretty much comforted her, like during, her time in need, and told her, like, pretty much a prophecy that she would become human again, and she would become just because she was descended from many individuals like Perseus, Heracles, a bunch of other well-known Greek heroes and stuff. She would be like, I can't remember how they worded it, but it's like she would be like the perfect person to continue on with that line.
Chosen one.
Yeah.
You know what a homie Prometheus must be to be getting his little liver taken out and consumed every day, and he still has the ability to comfort someone.
I know. I feel like he got used to it after a while. I mean, because it's like you got to get some sort of pain tolerance to that.
Maybe
I'm not sure about that science. That's crazy though.
But yeah, so this ended up this ended up happening to her after she escaped to Egypt, where Zeus turned her back to a human. So she was a bull this entire time, or just like a cow.
You know what? She had badass cow ability, so it doesn't sound too bad to me, but what do I know?
Yeah, she just went through a really tough time, and she ended up having 2 children with Zeus, and she married an Egyptian king named Telegonus.
Wait, Telegonus sounds super familiar. That was in the book.
Many books.
But it's very specific.
No, the Circe book. Telegonus.
Yeah.
What is he cooking?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. I mean, maybe it's a different Telegonus, but
that was the guy. Is that Odysseus' son?
Possibly. This one is an Egyptian king, so it might be a different Telegonus.
No, that's definitely Odysseus' son then, because he was like a prince, and then he took over the kingdom.
But Odysseus wasn't. What island was he from, though?
Odysseus went back home, and he had a son.
But didn't Telegonus marry Circe, and they had a few kids together?
Yes. Wait, I just googled it, and it says Telegonus (parentheses) son of Odysseus. Yes.
Okay.
So Circe hooks up with Odysseus, and then Circe also hooks up with Odysseus' son.
Because I know she has some
Sims genealogy.
Telemachus hooks up with Circe, and Telegonus is Circe's son.
So next we have up is Aegina. How do we clear this?
Alex left. I think Alex is the one who has to clear.
Damn it, Alex.
Because am I still playing? I don't know.
Alex, get your butt back here right now to clear off the screen so I can continue.
So is this like that heart condition?
Which one?
Angina?
I was pronouncing Aegina.
But angina, that's the heart disease?
I don't know. I don't know biology. But Aegina is actually a nymph from the island of Aegina. I know. Crazy, right? But the island was named after her. So Kelsey, or anyone else, what do you think Zeus came to her as?
Oh, he did a lot of different animals. He liked bulls and he liked birds.
Bulls and the birds.
What do you think?
I don't know. I think wasn't one time. No, was he like a cloud or something once?
He came in as a golden shower.
What? Hold on. What the fuck does that mean?
He literally came in as a cloud and then rained a literal golden rain or a golden shower on someone and got her pregnant that way.
I feel like I've heard.
Wasn't this what Trump got? Wasn't there a scandal with Trump?
Yeah, and some like a porn star or something. Like there might have been like I don't know, there was some golden
It's
shower.
not. Wait, is Brandy Max from Parks and Rec?
I don't know who Brandy Max
You
is.
seen Parks and Rec? I
That's a
love Parks and
porn
Rec.
star.
Is that
No,
wait?
it's-
Is that the porn
Oh,
star?
what's her
that-
name?
Star on
Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I'm pretty sure Brandy Max is based on this porn star. Like she's that well known. So pretty much. All right. Any guesses on the form that he was in?
Didn't you already say it was a shower? Wait,
No.
was it a cloud? Wasn't there something where he was a cloud?
Yeah, like he was a cloud and then he rained golden, like a literal golden shower on her. And I think that's where that term comes from.
I'm laughing at Brendan's comment. Was that Brendan?
What comment?
That wrote "Get out the hay."
Yeah, you couldn't see it because the last screen was blue, so I typed it out and realized no one could probably see it because of the background, because I was banished to using the same color the entire time. But
Yeah, so thankfully
You
this
can see
woman
it, you can't see it in the background. It's
yeah,
fine.
so thankfully this woman didn't get a golden shower on her. Someone else did. I feel so bad for her because she was actually confined in a basement, like underneath a temple. But he came to her in the form of an eagle. Is really really surprising, obviously. But Zeus abducted Aegina and took her to the island that would be named after her. Her father, Asopus, I don't even know even where to go with that name, but Asopus is the name. And Asopus chased after her, but Zeus sent him back using his thunderbolts. So he pretty much tried his best, and then Zeus was like, fuck you, like I want to be like spend alone time with my girl. He sent a thunderbolt after him, forcing him back to his land, like who knows how long away. But Aegina soon gave birth to the future king of that island, Achaeus, I'm guessing, Aeacus. And but how does this connect to Hera, you ask? She, of course, sent a plague that wiped out a majority of the population of that island.
doesn't sound like too different from 2020, am I right?
Because of Zeus's lust for Aegina. So instead of COVID, they had the virus that Hera sent down.
Oh no, the poor dog is seeing him like that?
Yeah, so we're on to my boy Dionysus.
Hey!
This kind of connects back with Alex's celebration that we had for her. If you guys were there, Steve, you weren't there, but you should have been. So pretty much Hera was angry that he survived, and Hera sent the Titans after him, where they pretty much ripped him to shreds as a newborn. But using the parts that were recovered, Rhea, which was his grandmother, because she was the mother of both Hera and Zeus, and then they got married as, siblings do. And she brought him back to life and placed him in the care of mountain nymphs. She again attacked him later on by driving him to madness that caused him to wander the world, where he would spread his knowledge of winemaking. So that's where the wine making and like the spread of that knowledge comes from. And he regained his sanity and was allowed to be actually a part of the gods of Mount Olympus. So that's why he's considered one of the 12 or sometimes like 13 Olympians, because like him and another person can kind of be like different, like, or taken out of each other.
It's the goddess of the hearth, the hearth that gets switched out with Dionysus. I forget her name.
I thought you said goddess of the hearse for a minute.
And then this is one of my last slides. This is Paris and Helen of Troy. So Helen was kind of
a nice looking harp, let me say.
This is Paris and Helen of Troy. Who do you guys think Paris is?
Paris? Wait, isn't this the Trojan War thing with the apple?
Yeah, so this kicks off the Trojan War. Paris was pretty much invited to a wedding, but the goddess Eris wasn't. And Eris was, ticked off by this. So she left a golden apple with the words inscribed, "To the fairest." But 3 specific goddesses thought, oh, I'm the fairest, so I deserve that fucking apple. And those bitches were Hera, surprise, Athena, and Aphrodite. Zeus pretty much assigned Paris to make judgments on who was the fairest. Aphrodite pretty much propositioned him and said, like, if you say that I'm the fairest, I will give you like the most beautiful woman in the world. And he chose Aphrodite, and then he ended up getting a chance to kidnap, and some say that they ran away together. You know how people do when, guys just kidnap women and then marry them, how'd that work? But he ended up kidnapping her and possibly raping her. So, and then of course that goes into the Trojan War, and Hera played a huge part in that, as well as other Olympian gods. I think Athena was one of them. I don't know too much about it. I still have to read a lot into it, but I know he is one of the individuals who does end up dying in it. And I saved the best for last. Steve, if you're still awake, I really hope you are.
Oh,
we want to give you a happy birthday salute.
I appreciate the Ron Swanson especially, but thank you so much.
Yeah, so this is from Carly, Alex, Kelsey. They had no idea it was your birthday tomorrow, but I just put it in and included them, as well as business.
You told me at least.
Yeah, and Susan. It includes a Susan as well. We don't mention Susan that much, but she's also our, like, she's not even a mascot. She's just, a person that comes in every once in a while.
Oh, thank you guys.
But happy birthday, Steve.
Thank you.
Whee!
In like 35 minutes, I'll be 23. But yeah, thank you guys.
I was born at 12:38, so.
Oh, shit.
I was born at like 5:40 something at night.
Am I the only one who doesn't know that?
I was born around like 2, I think, in the afternoon.
What the
Yeah,
fuck?
I was born at like 12:38 in the afternoon. I still have the cute little bracelet that I wore.
Charlie, get off my notes.
I just knew it was a Wednesday.
Mine was a Thursday.
I couldn't even imagine telling my kid this is the exact time I used my uterus to push your ginormous head out of my body. Like, I couldn't even imagine telling my kid that.
I feel like they usually don't think of it that way. My mom once.
You were an endoparasite for 9 months, and now you're an ectoparasite for the next 25 years.
All right, guys, thank you so much. This has been Drunk College. We just talked about Hera being a bitch, and it totally makes sense. If you guys want to subscribe, you totally can, but I'm not going to be a bitch like Hera and force you guys to subscribe. Kelsey, do you have anything else to say?
I will force you to subscribe. I will kill you.
So I'm gonna be kind of like a pacifist and say you don't have to, and Kelsey's our Hera.